What's going on, everybody? Gleez here, and we're going to go over some real simple tips for beginners to do well at Doom Eternal. So let's get ready to rip and tear. So the first thing that I want to stress is that you need to keep moving. This isn't the type of game that should be played from extremely far range where you're sniping and staying in the same spot. The enemies are pretty good at tailoring into where you're at, so moving and using your dash accordingly is so important. That is one of the biggest ways to stay alive in Doom, is moving constantly and being able to shoot on the run. So the second tip that I'm going to give you is make sure you're utilizing your glory kill. When an enemy is stunned and they're blinking, go in with a melee attack and get your health. Don't be too trigger happy. Know the health of the enemies that you're fighting. Eventually you'll see them over and over again throughout the course of the game, and you'll know when they're about to die. If you overblast and shoot them with a bunch of bullets, they'll just explode and they won't drop as many things for you to collect and power up. Also, utilizing the glory attacks allow you to power up your blood fist. And the blood fist is a devastating melee attack that will knock an opponent all the way across the screen, or they'll just explode right there in front of you. It's one of the best moves in the game. So utilizing your glory kill will not only give you health and also possibly armor, it will also power up that blood fist. The third tip that I want to give is to use all of your tools. There's a lot of things that you can do in Doom, especially as your character begins to power up. And one of the main things, one of the main points that I was actually faltering on was using my flamethrower. I just wasn't using it enough. So my armor was getting low, and every time you use that flamethrower and you're able to get a kill or to hit an opponent that's on fire, they drop armor. Now you want to use that over and over again. As soon as it refills, if you're depleted in armor, I just continually use it now. And it really works out well. There are also power-ups that you will be getting in the future in the game. One of the ones that I found that was extremely effective is the one where you jump up into the sky, and when you hold the L trigger, you're able to slow time down, and you can really start blasting people and hit enemies with precise shots. And that really worked out well for me. There's so many tools in this game. Make sure that you utilize all of them. There's also a lot of different button combinations that you'll be pressing, and the game is really fast paced. So even just, go into the game, get used to the buttons, press all the buttons, go through different configurations, don't save the game and then restart your save point. I actually did that to help me get more familiar with all of my options, and that really helped out a lot too. The fourth tip that I'm going to give is to not dismiss the weak points of the enemies. There's been so many times that I've watched on Twitch and I see people, they're not really, reading the screen. The game does tell you, but it seems as though a lot of times people are forgetting these different weak points. Shoot the cannons off the guy's arm, shoot the cannon off of the brain, off the top of the head. Those very simple things will help you progress in this game, and as you go through the game, there are other enemies, and the game will tell you their weaknesses as well. Another example would be the plasma gun on all of the barrier shields. Make sure that you're following these things, and it will make your life so much easier. The last and final tip is to just keep your head and your ears on a swivel. Playing the game with a headset allows you to understand where the enemies are and where they're coming from, where the fireballs are coming from, who's shooting at you. So not only, keeping your head on a swivel as in looking around, rotating the screen around constantly while you're playing, but also I think wearing a headset will help you a lot. You have to be very aware of your surroundings. Also, make sure you investigate things. Look at the edges of different ledges that you're maneuvering on, and oftentimes you'll see that there's a swing bar somewhere, or there's somewhere where you can grapple against the wall and climb underneath of you, or in a spot that you may not think that there would be. And there's oftentimes many power-ups, secrets, and sometimes you just need to do that in order to progress through the level. So being, very keen as to what's going on around you, what enemies are around you and what obstacles are in your way is of extreme importance. So there you go. There's 5 tips for you to be successful in Doom Eternal. Some of these things seem rather, simple, but they go a long way. And I think that if you utilize these tips, you'll be very successful. So as always, I want to thank you all for checking in. If you're new to the channel, be sure to click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell so you get updated whenever I post new content. As always, again, thanks for checking in. It's Gleez signing out, and continue to game strong.